What jobs consist of frequently disappointing people? I'm an insurance agent. Everything I do disappoints someone. DMV worker having to tell people who just waited 4 hours that they don't have the right papers to complete a 30-second process. I'm an attorney. No, you are not entitled to thousands of dollars because someone's Facebook message hurt your feelings. No, they are not going to jail for slander. No, your DUI is not being dropped to a reckless driving charge. You literally knocked the officer over and had ounces of weed in the car. No, I will not demand $3,000 more in alimony when you have been married for a year. No, I will not lie for you. Then the legitimately not crazy cases. I'm sorry, but your abusive husband is still entitled to visitation and you will still have to communicate with him regarding the kids. I'm sorry, but you waited too long to talk to me about your very legitimate claim and it is now barred by the statute of limitations. I'm sorry, I know it is your first offense, but under the law, having a gun while committing a dangerous felony is an automatic 3 years in prison at 100%. I'm a dealer in a casino. Sure, people win, have fun and are happy, but at the end of the day you could describe my job as taking people's money then thanking them for playing and you wouldn't be wrong most of the time. You have to be able to get past seeing the chips as money and thinking about how much people lose. People who typically don't last long. Whoever makes the schedule at a job without regular work hours. I got to work another ducking Saturday, Rick. I can't even begin to imagine how hard it must be to be an oncologist. The number of times in your career you must have to tell someone, often someone young, that they're going to die and there's nothing that can be done about it when all they really want to hear is that they'll be fine must really take its toll. The ride operator at an amusement park. Sorry kid, you are 1 stroke 2 inch too short to ride. Tech support. Hello mom, what can I help you with? My phone isn't working. It isn't turning on. Well, have you tried charging it or pressing the power button? Those haven't been working. You see my phone has been snapped in half. Can you fix it for me over the phone? Mom, I'm afraid your phone is beyond repair. I'm sorry. God, this tech support is so incompetent. I'm never ordering stuff from you guys again. Comma. Person in charge of ice cream machine in McDonald's. Auditor. Hash. I worked as an auditor for 2 years out of school in order to get my CPA license. And that was and will forever be the worst job I ever had. Literally not a single client will ever be happy to see you. You are nothing but a pain in the ass that is only there because they're required to hire you. Your job consists of bothering them all day long with questions they don't want to answer and request info they don't have time to give you. After 3 weeks of bugging them all day in their office, you give them a report that hopefully says they're doing their job okay. Then you give them a $40 K-bill. The person who pulls the lottery numbers. Always millions of disappointed people. Repair people. Usually something is broke that the customer doesn't want to pay for and thinks whatever you charge is too much. Our cat died this weekend and I think the sweet vet tech who broke the horrible news to us has the worst job ever in terms of delivering disappointing news. We heard him tell 2 other families that their pet either didn't or wouldn't make it in the time we were crying in our exam room. Worked in a call center for United Healthcare once. You haven't disappointed another human being until you've had to explain why their cancer medication is going to cost more than what they set aside for their children. I quit that job as fast as I could. No matter how bad you think the healthcare system in the US is, I can assure you it's worse. Can't speak for everyone, but man, if I took up male stripping. First gen Asian child. More than what? Why you get an F in gender? Judges passing judgment. Always a disappointed party in every case outcome, I would think at least. IT support. People want the impossible and are constantly disappointed when you can give it to them. Saved data to a flash drive and it's not working. Sorry, you zapped it with static electricity and your data is gone. Spilled water on your laptop. Sorry, going to need a new one. Last week, I got cussed out by a beta maid for trying to put money in someone else's meter, and he stared at me the whole time while he was writing the ticket out. I was pretty ducking bummed about that. HR recruiter. Lots of motivated people who are just not qualified, or worse, when they are qualified but the other candidate is just that little bit better. Being my parents' son. Obligatory edit. Holy duck. Thank you for the gold, kind stranger. Movie pass customer service. From the sounds of it, being a developer creator of any form of media or otherwise artistic medium, with everyone being able to voice their opinion so easily, it breeds so much toxicity. Like take Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So many people miss all the great features being added and how utterly massive the roster is because Luigi or whoever else they want hasn't been announced as a playable fighter. Sure, I would love to see Lloyd Irving or Nakusa Kuriba, but their exclusion won't ruin the game for me. Star Wars. And how many people petitioned to remove The Last Jedi from canon? Like really? Is it that terrible? Like worse than the prequels? Or people who vandalized a mural for LeBron James after he signed with the Lakers? You just got a legendary player on your team. What's the problem? I say this as a fan of one of the Lakers' biggest rivals in the Celtics. Yes, there's also the positive side of these fandoms and so much more. But in a world where it seems like we prioritize the negative and more people want to complain than praise, I could see being any sort of creator so disheartening at times. I'm sure it can also be rewarding, but damn, it must be frustrating at times. I'm a blackjack dealer. Most of my nights involve taking a lot of money from a lot of people. Private investigator. Constantly informs people that yes, their spouse significant other is in fact banging other people. Corrections. I say no all day. No, you can't have an extra roll of toilet paper. No, you can't do that. Stop stabbing that guy that owes you 2 ramens etc etc. Software engineering. It's too slow. It crashed my computer. The ballistic missiles launched all by themselves. Cashier. Your total is. The number after that phrase is always a disappointment. Environmental scientist researcher. We're ducked. This land is ducked. This smaller area of land is also ducked. These oceans. Ducked. This seaside. Ducked. The atmosphere. Ducked. This water supply. Ducked. These people's lungs. Ducked. Every damn animal, plant or habitat you get asked about preserving. Ducked. Ducked and ducked again. Referees. In most sports. A specific one, the foreman for work crews doing utility repairs. This poor bastard has to go around listening to residents itch because a demolition crew just came by to tear up their sidewalk or cut through cement to upgrade. For example, gas lines. He didn't personally rip anything up. And also, what are you gonna do? Not repair and improve public utilities? So he can't do anything about that, and when the residents say, when will you fix it? He doesn't have an answer because it probably won't be his crew that fixes it. So, all he gets to do is go around telling people he's about to duck up their space and cannot give a firm timeline for it getting fixed. The poor ducker. Military chaplain who has to talk to next of kin. Customer support at Jajux. I was a claims adjuster, the person you talk to when you get in a car accident, for almost 2 years. I actually became clinically depressed from that job. I sit next to our HR person. I feel sorry for her. A huge part of her job is layoffs, firings, and employee discipline actions. I asked her if anyone ever walks in and just says, "Hi, I am here to report all is okay." PhD student. Everything I do disappoints my mentor and committee. Ticket redemption at arcades. I want the Big Bear. You have 5 tickets. You can get an eraser or a Tootsie Roll. I'm a waiter that constantly has to say, "Is Pepsi okay?" Working for the Department of Child Services. Trust me. Retail. Someone is always getting disappointed every day, and sometimes it's not even our fault. Just yesterday I had a guy come into the store with his bike, itching and complaining that the brakes are always seizing. I spun his handlebars counterclockwise to loosen up the brake cable and presto, good as new. The guy was baffled and started cussing. And then there's every person who never reads the flyer dates. Duh. This item is on sale. It says so in the flyer. Well, did you read the flyer date? I got it yesterday. Did you read the flyer date? Ducking retail shoppers are retarded. Teacher, doctor, social worker, any job where your primary task is to help people. People dislike being helped way more often than you'd think. Psychotherapist. What do you mean just being here won't change my life? What do you mean you can't change my spouse, child, boss? What do you mean that's my job? It's your job to make my life better. What do you mean that for my teenager to be able to stand up to his friends, bullies, teachers, I have to be okay with his standing up to me? What do you mean you can't fix me, her, him, them, comma. IRS agent, bill collector, nanny, at least for the kids. D agent, risk manager for an investment firm. Claims adjuster, sorry folks, it's all in the policy. I don't care what The Incredibles portrays us as, but we can only give you money if the loss was covered by the insurance you picked out. Being a Democrat politician. Programmers. Everyone expects Iron Man level it. Wait, I have to click one button? Really? Fine, I guess. It's almost a cliche, but a parking inspector. Journalism. Comments on a crime story, you only print bad news. Posts an inspirational dog video, this isn't news. Any political story, liberal rag, fake news, etc. The guy who makes all the trending on Reddit notification. IT. If it works, why do we pay for the IT guys? They don't do anything. If it breaks, why do we pay for the IT guys? All there is broken. IT. We are constantly disappointed at people. Final Fantasy Ziv game director. I'm a debt collector. My job essential duties are upsetting people, pissing people off, ruining their days, ruining their lives, making them cry, or disappointing myself, or all of the above. Phlebotomy. Haven't met anyone that was like a WW duck here. Draw the it out of my blood and stick that needle nice and deep. White House press secretary. GameStop employees would give you $4 for a game you bought for $60. Billing departments for any call center. If they're calling and it's always to save money, which most of the time you can't do for them unless something is marginally ducked. Had hundreds of calls at my previous job where you'd have to escalate something to a manager so they could tell them no, you can't have a refund, or no, this is the new plan, there's no changing it. My job being a vet, telling them that although we hoped for the best, their beloved pet is a lot more ill than we thought, and we ought to consider their quality of life. I'll never get used to delivering bad news. I'm an engineer, architects, interior designers. Artists ask me to okay their designs and I simply tell them why they cannot be. Car salesman here. You can't buy a new truck for $350 a month. Sorry. I'm a waitress. No. Sorry, I can't sell you a drink because you look 13 and don't have your ID. No. Sorry, we don't have a raspberry lemon vinaigrette. No, sorry, we have sirloin, not filet mignon. No. Sorry, I can't get you a to-go margarita. No, sorry, I can't stand here and give you all my attention because 32 other people need it and there's no ice or chips and dishes full. No, sorry, I can't hang out this weekend or any weekend cause I'm working. Yes, you have to tip me. Working IT in a server room. The only time anyone notices that you exist is when you're disappointing them. People who sell D-enlargers. Anyone who's ever made someone a salad at Subway. High-level political ones, president, prime minister, etc. The film industry, highly unforgiving. Lots of disappointing people. Once you find the right ones though, sky is the limit. This is why I love being a full-time bartender. With rare exception, I'm surrounded by nothing but happy people and people love me because I have the poison they want. Prime Minister of Canada. I'm constantly disappointed. Anything in the medical field, I would think. My job as a father, or at least the way I let my family down. My son is a drug addict, dropout and a rapist. Been in jail 4 times and every time he comes out I hope he has changed. Turns out he did not and he never will. I am probably the biggest disappointment though, as a father. Not the worst on the list, but I'm an HVAC technician. Your heat exchanger is failed, and if we don't replace either the $3,000 to $6,000 part or your whole furnace, it will kill your whole family while you sleep. Your $2,500 plus compressor failed in your AC. We need to replace the expensive part or your whole AC. By the way, here's a list of 10 other unsafe things the unlicensed and should not bonded Craigslist guy did not do to code when he installed your new furnace and AC 5 years ago. I swear it's almost a daily conversation I have with people. I'm a recruiter. I have to tell people they didn't get their dream job all week. Anything in a pharmacy. When I work as a cashier in that department, I get a ton of people each day that I have to tell their insurance won't cover their expensive medication. Parking enforcement. But you're probably doing that because you enjoy disappointing people. I can't believe nobody has said meteorologist. First they disappoint people who were hoping for a specific type of weather. Then, they are frequently wrong. So they disappoint people again. Working at GameStop and telling people that their PS3/360 with 2 controllers and a stack of games is worth $75 trade credit. I've seen people's hearts break right in front of me. Mayo. I work at an abuse hotline for my state. I receive calls on a regular basis describing horrible, dastardly things. However, unless certain criteria are met, my department does not have jurisdiction. I regularly have to disappoint people who need help in some form. It can be hard leaving that disappointment at work. Parent of a teen. Mom, can I have $100 to go shopping? Yes. Mom, can I go to the movies? Yes. Mom, can you buy me the new iPhone X? Yes. Mom, can I borrow the car to drive me friends to Atlanta for a concert? No. Mom, you never let Emmy do anything, you're ruining my life. I used to work for a tour planner organizing cruises. Their itinerary is mapped out to the hour before they leave. So either the trip went exactly like they expected or it went worse than they expected. Boats have a tendency to be slightly unpredictable with timing. So people were usually disappointed. Canyon Semen and Mark Carano. WWE Talent Relations.